Okay, it's a presentation by Anne-Marie Keast. This is on periodisation and an annual training plan, and this is for her advanced sports coaching module, assignment 2, task 1. Where you go, Anne-Marie?
Okay, so periodisation. There we are. Periodisation is based on 3 main phases, which is preparation phase, competition, and transition phase. That is then broken down into smaller parts, which is general preparation, specific preparation, pre-competition, competition, and transition phase. There's also a quote there, which is from Bompa and Half, 1983, stating that periodisation is the foundation of an athlete's training plan. Periodisation is a method by which training is divided into smaller and easier managed segments. The aim of a periodisation is to reach the best possible performance, which is most important of the competition of an athlete's year. Okay, so here is my annual training programme. This is based on an amateur athlete, so a runner, which I train down at Nuki and Par Athletics. This one here is pretty basic, but October to December would be their preparatory phase, so general preparation, specific preparation, also December to February. February to March is their pre-competitions, so starting to get warmed up to their main competitions. There will be a few competitions in pre-competition, like indoor ones. That's optional for them if they want to. Competition phase March to September, and September to October, a short transition phase. Down here, which is the mesocycle, which I'll explain in a second. Well, the periodisation is broken up into 3 different cycles, which is mesocycle, microcycle, and macrocycle. A macrocycle refers to an overall training period, which represents a year. The mesocycle can be anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks or a month. And the microcycle is broken down into weeks, so the training plans within that week. On the mesocycle, on the side it says phys, tech, tank and psych. That there is the intensity levels throughout each phase, so prep phase, competition phase. That's just roughly on how high their physical aspects will be and how low they will be without those phases. I've highlighted in the 21st week there, which is in specific preparation. That was justified in task 2, where the athlete was broken down into training programs of 3 things, and they'll be mostly focusing on physical aspects and tactical aspects. So that's why that one there is highlighted. Here's just a rough rough thingy of a microcycle. So you can see they're colour-coded: physical, tactical, technical, and psychological. This is obviously for an amateur athlete, so it's quite basic. Made a lot of physical throughout the whole stage. Right, moving on to the physical aspects. Within general preparation, the athlete would be looking on last year's reflection, so maybe it might be video analysis that the coach might have of some of their competitions that they run, or just some of the training. Fitness testing, so then the coach can see where they're starting off, where they've left off from last year. And general development of main fitness, which would be strength, mobility, endurance, technique training, but it would all be low intensity, quite low intensity. Endurance will obviously be added into that. This athlete is a 400 metre runner, so they obviously need so much endurance as well as everything else. Moving on to specific preparation, this is where everything starts to get serious, so the training will be broken into training methods like interval training. They'd be doing that at least once a week, fartlek training once a week on a Sunday normally, and continuous runs also. That is to build, this will be at 400 metre pace, building back up so they know that they can hold that pace. Also speed training, so short bursts out of the blocks, only over like 20-30 metres. They'd also, in specific training, how to put that technical, be pre-competition, specific fitness training. So from specific training, they'd be looking at how well they've done in specific training, what the coach needs to focus on. There'd be indoor competitions there, so they'd be running 400 metres, 200 metres in those competitions. The coach can then see how well that athlete is at the beginning, so he knows what to work on for just before they start their main competitions. This athlete's competitions has 3 main competitions, and the main one is in August. So as it starts off in March, they've got quite a while until their main competition when they need to peak. So that's why the coach will be looking at importantly in pre-competition. The intensity will start to increase in pre-competition. Reps will increase, but the sets will decrease. So it'll be higher intensity but lower sets, so they won't be doing as much, but it'll be at a higher level. The competition phase, so on average this athlete has competitions every 2 weeks. They might have one following weeks, but then they might have a break for 3 weeks and have one every other week. So they'll be maintaining their fitness and speed, training 3 times a week, 2 actual training sessions and 1 kind of like an active rest, but it would be going off doing a fartlek or a continuous run. And transition phase would just be active rest, so gentle running, gentle swimming, cycling, 30 minutes at a time, nothing too much. Tactical would be general prep, video analysis of the last year. They'd be looking at races that they had done the previous year. Goal setting is massive in this one, so they need to look at where they want to be on this competition, where they want to be finished, looking at the rankings, like where they want to be in the UK rankings. Specific preparation would be advanced video analysis, so the coach would be proper knuckling down on what they want this athlete to focus on, whether it's they're coming out the blocks too fast, they're going like up too fast, or they're staying low too long. They'll be looking at that sort of thing. Pre-competition, specific training related to, again, video analysis. So it's all based on video analysis, what they're doing well, what they're not doing well, what the coach thinks they need to improve. Competition phase would be tactics on what format they want to run in, whether they want to be a front runner, start at the back, like where they want to pace themselves and who they're going to pace themselves with. They'll also look at their other athletes, their times and stuff, so they know who they're going to run with. Transition phase would just be reminiscing on the year, and a few little bits of video analysis on how well they've done, looking at good points, and then maybe a few bad points for the next year. Technical aspects, the general prep, just basics, looking at the competitions this season, which ones they want to do, which ones they don't want to do, choosing what they want to do in it, whether they want to do a 400 or a 200 to build up for the 400. Specific prep, looking at athletes' times that they know that they're going to be running against. Stride lengths would be important in this, like if they're doing too many strides, too little strides. Pre-competition would be race preparation, which would be if you know you're going to go to a certain track. Is that track soft? Is that track old? Is that track new? So you can cut, because your stride lengths and stuff will adjust to that. Goal setting, definitely. So yeah, finding out much about the track. Throughout competition, maintaining everything that's learned in all the stages. And again, an active rest would be video analysis. Psychological aspects, goal setting definitely in general prep, that's highly important so the athlete knows where they want to be at the end. Specific preparation, video analysis, self-talk, things, imagery, where they want to be, can they see themselves? Oh sorry, that's pre-competition, so they're imagining themselves in the competition, in the zone, what the surroundings are going to be like and everything. That will also be carried into competition, so before competitions they'll be thinking, this is how I'm going to run my race. Basically running the race through through their head. Self-talk by the coach, calming them down before. And transition phase, nice holiday to relax, massages, etc. And lastly, nutrition. Nutrition is highly important throughout the whole of, well, for every athlete and everything. Well, say throughout the competition phase. It's highly important they have a load of carbohydrates producing energy. Carbohydrates are stored in the body for glycogen, so that's highly important, like for glucose and everything. Protein, definitely, throughout the competition phase. It's growth and repair to the body, so any injuries and stuff, that's good, and obviously fluids is highly important.
Okay. Cool. Thanks, Anne-Marie. Right, Anne-Marie, camera's still rolling.
Okay.
Well, we just go through a couple of questions, literally a couple of questions.
Yep.
I've asked everybody a couple, so you're not being picked on.
Right.
Okay, thank you for your presentation.
Mm-hmm.
Right. In the physical, looking at the physical components, general prep, you talked about the work you were doing would be at a low intensity. Okay. Talk to me about the volume. Would you be doing a high volume of training at a low intensity, or would it be low intensity and low volume?
Low intensity, low volume, definitely. Because was that in general prep, sorry?
In the general prep phase,
general prep is, well, it's just after transition phase, so the athlete's only doing light training, might only probably do 2 sessions that week rather than 3. So it is just getting their bodies back into doing it, so it'll all be low intensity, low volume.
If you don't. And you talked about tactical and technical. In your technical stuff, you talked about looking at like the surface, the speed of the track, the surface that you might be running on, and so on. Do you feel that that is technical work or tactical?
It would be tactical, yeah.
Okay.
Technical would be looking at video analysis and stuff.
Okay.
So how well they ran on that track.
Right. Okay.
Sorry, and yeah, tactical would be looking at, well, going to the track and thinking, oh yeah, this is a new track. This is good. Nice.
So sticking with the technical elements then, what would you as a coach be looking at and looking for from your runner? What would you be doing from a technical aspect?
Stride length.
Okay, good.
Yeah, how well they're reacting to the surface, whether their stride length shortened or if it's long lengthened.
And then as a coach, sorry Anne-Marie, but I'm sticking with it. As a coach, if you saw that their stride length had shortened, when you come out of that competition and then move into your next training phase, what sort of things would you employ to address that?
It would be, again, 400 metres, but it would be a lower intensity. So they'd give them a set time. So say their time is 52. They would say, right, you need to finish this race in 60 seconds, but you need to work on your stride length. Without that, so just focus on stride length rather than focusing on getting to the end and the time.
Okay, thanks very much, Anne-Marie.
Cool, thanks.